Okay, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from, please like, subscribe, and share. Right, hit the subscribe button back here. You rock. Check this out. It's on Amazon.com. Hip hop and Igbo culture by yours faithfully, Martin Ifeanyi Chukwueke. Okay, if you go to okay, check this out. Good morning and welcome to EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Today, the 21st day of February 2025, and today is a Friday, and the time is a minute past the hour of 7. It's time for newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on the Nigerian newspapers. But before we do that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us. The challenges of documenting memories in the 21st century is gone. When you have everyone at the 103.5 FM, here, what are you celebrating today? Birthdays, wedding anniversary, traditional wedding, chieftaincy conferment, or fala, etc. Approach everyone at the 103.5 FM Ogidi today to document your event. Everyone at the 103.5 FM offers you live coverage of your events on radio and social media, video and photo coverages feature on magazines, photo books, and others, news coverage of political and other events. Take this offer and receive a complete coverage. For more information, call or WhatsApp 08065796599 or you visit Ebon at the 103.5 FM Ogidi opposite Omunike Boys inside the Ovin Residency Hotel, Ogidi. You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona Day 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news, making the headlines on The Guardian, Sun, Daily Post, The Nation, Punch, Leadership, and if time permits, we are also going to take a look at Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 081 38 397740 or 08139256742 or 08065796599. I am Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper this morning. Federal government terminates contract of 98-kilometer Oyo Ogbomosho road awarded to RCC. NEC seeks action against malnutrition, sidesteps tax bill, state police, others. Reinvent, reclaim Nigeria, youths challenged. Federal government seeks China's cooperation in economic diversification. WEOG seeks collaboration for sustainable energy future. Protesters against a PAP boss are hired street urchins. IYN alleges. Christian Association of Nigeria demands Leah Sharibu's immediate release from captivity.
US says US aid not sponsoring Boko Haram vows to target terrorists across Africa. Policy, tax, infrastructure, hurdles leave SEZs on the rise amid $300 billion investment. Will I revive over 700 moribund factories? Manufacturing Association of Nigeria Director General urges the federal government. Federal government tells Adeleke to suspend Osun local government election. Christian Association, we've taken this. University of Lagos Dawn says artificial intelligence can take over certain jobs. Sudan rejects paramilitary government, flees Kenya. Stakeholders call for inclusion, social justice for people with disabilities in Nigeria. British Commission raises concern over insecurity in Osun. NOSDRA signs a pact to tackle oil spill in Niger Delta. OPEC, Nigeria should be producing up to 4 million barrels per day. Population growth will spike petrol demand by 93 billion liters, ARDA warns. Stakeholders call for inclusion, social justice for people with disability in Nigeria. Court adjourns Evans' trial to April 17th over plea bargain application. Group condemns ritual killings by Islamic clerics in Yoruba land. Human Rights Writers Association urges Inspector General of Police to restore order, evict illegal occupiers of Osun councils. Lawmakers, stakeholders lament poor state of federal roads in Oyo. Building collapse. BCPG honors Lagos monarch, emphasizes high construction standards. Federal government targets April for ECOWAS road completion. Netherlands to deport failed asylum seekers to Uganda. Fire engulfs two flow stations in Bonny. Workers missing. Residents call for relief. Rights group demands investigation into nurse's mysterious death in Enugu. Tinubu signs bills to establish federal varsities in Osun, Ekiti. Boardroom guru Bode Emmanuel for burial today. Senator, philanthropist, illuminate Kogi, Delta communities. Christian Association of Nigeria demands Leah Sharibu's immediate release from captivity. University of Lagos Dawn says artificial intelligence can take over certain jobs. We've taken this. Enugu Council chairman hold performance review, score high. Lagos lawyer remanded for alleged forgery fraud. SILAC, Oxfam advocates improved trade, better environment in South-South. FEM moves to promote financial literacy. African Development Bank, WFP, distribute 1 billion. African Development Bank, WFB, distribute $1 million food items to households. Lagos State government seeks platforms for youths to thrive. Imo Assembly recalls 4 suspended lawmakers. Daibara double leads Roma into Europa League last 16. Daibara double leads Romans into Europa League last 16. Hajj Ogun begins screening of intending pilgrims February 25th. Take tough decisions to make Africa better, Tinubu tells leaders. Students dies, 4 others injured as classroom wall collapses in Yobe. Court gives EFCC 10 days to arraign 160 Chinese Nigerians. Federal government targets April for completion of Lagos Badagry Expressway project. NEC inaugurates 774 naira initiative to combat malnutrition crisis in Nigeria. Benue Chief Judge stands removed. Assembly. I regret annulment of 1999 presidential election. Babangida. Federal government declares a planned Osun local government election illegal. Once Adeleke. Board approves waiver promotion for paramilitary senior officers. Lagos warns motorists against fake concealed vehicle plate numbers. Declare Abiola posthumously as ex-Nigerian president. Coalition of united political parties tells Tinubu. Fintry presents staff of office to Gadiga as Mbege Ka Mishika. And that's the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning. You are listening to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 081 7740 or 081 or 08065796599. And still on the stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the Guardian newspaper, we'll flip over to the Sun newspaper. IBB soothsayer told us he will be head of state, Abu Salami. We cherish the Sun Awards. Ndume Oloyede. IBB expresses a regret for annulling June 12, 1993 election in revealing book. Boko Haram. Reps probe non-governmental organizations over alleged U.S. aid funding. Obaseki brutalized Edo people's psyche, undermined traditional institutions as governor, Oba of Benin. IBB expresses a regret of annulling June 12, 1993 election. We've taken this. PDP South Zone declares Umemu authentic secretary. Southeast Development Commission as the marginalization masterstroke for Southeast. Osun APC withdraws from Saturday council election as elder statesman condemns violence, calls for caution. Clark was a true defender of people. PDP citing 600 billion naira projects. KB citing 600 billion naira projects. KB APC declares support for Tinubu 2027. Ganduje too unpopular, can't speak for North. Sani. Africa's aviation single market mission sabotaged from within. IBB soothsayer told us he will be head of state. Abu Salami. We cherish the Sun Awards. Ndume Oloyede. How Joseph Imalibe lost out in NCAT rector race. Arik Air congratulates Kiamo on the Sun Award nomination. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Sun newspaper this morning. Lukman faces Atlanta exit. Europe's top 50 pass masters rankings. Iwobi, Moses, Simon make list. IBB expresses regret for annulling June 12, 1993 election. Obaseki brutalized Edo people's psyche, undermined the traditional institutions as governor, Oba of Benin. And that's the much we can take from the Sun newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the Sun newspaper, we'll flip over to the Daily Post newspaper. U.S. cancels a briefing on Ukraine after Trump's spat with Zelensky. Buses bombed, more explosive found in Israel terrorist attack. Ocean crisis. Rights group false AGF Fabemi says opinion biased, unfounded. Dealer supplying Bello Tuji. Other notorious bandits' weapons arrested in Sokoto. Trump may be Russian asset doing Putin's bidding. US ex-Congress wash. IBB. I hope true winners of past elections will be recognized. Peter Obi. Russia-Ukraine war. Trump very frustrated with Zelensky. Mike Waltz. Nigerian government unveils a national nutrition policy. Admitting NKO Abiola won June 12 presidential election is courageous, Tinubu tells IBB. Edo recovers 3,500 illegal firearms in 100 days. Osun local government crisis chairman to remain in office till October 2025 AGF. US Senate Daniel Cameron announces bid for Mitch McConnell's seat. And that's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Remember, you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 67 6579 From the Daily Post newspaper, will flip over to the Nation newspaper. Killers of June 12. Why was the election annulled? IBB's June 12 poll annulment speech 32 years after election was credible, free, and fair. Uluwode wrote to me, I didn't tell Ige there would be consequences pitting Obasanjo's government. Federal government withdraws 98-kilometer Oyo Ogbomosho road project from RCC. EFCC arraigns 20 Filipinos, Chinese, Indonesians over cybercrime plot to destabilize Nigeria. Despite a political difference, Adebanjo was a family friend, says First Lady. Senate eulogizes Afenifere leader, urges federal government to immortalize him. An MPP rep dumps party for APC. Tinubu signs bill establishing federal varsity in Osun Ekiti. Opeboro, a visionary leader, says Ganduje. Obaseki undermined the traditional institutions, says Oba of Benin. Oyo government chose industrial facility over environmental regulation violation. Abiodun consoles Otebola family over ex-lawmaker's death. World Bank team visits Lagos agency. And that's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Nation newspaper, we'll flip over to the Punch newspaper. US deports 135 migrants to Costa Rica 2027. No automatic ticket for Obi Oti. Labour Party insists. Tinubu approves creation of Osun Ekiti federal varsities happening in America. Wake up call for Africa, says Tinubu. Obaseki faces probe. Carted away office furniture Opeboro. Jigawa rep dumps an MPP for APC. Mexico rejects US invasion in cartel fight. NYSC withdraws coppers from Benue community over headers attacks. Presidential panel got 21 billion naira in 7 years. Banditry. Zamfara varsity urges vigilance as 2,229 students matriculate. Barao, BOA partner to empower 558 farmers. Rejoice youth false calls for amnesty administrators suspension. Niger's junta proposes return to civilian rule in 5 years. Ex-Labour Party governorship candidate Ozigbo defects to APC in Anambra. Reps demand a clampdown on motorists with fake number plates. ICPC moves to stop local government fund embezzlement. Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps, Tantita, close ranks against oil thief. Tension as Natasha tackles Senate President over seat relocation. Kaduna Electricity Company, revenue generation lower than other discos. CEO, bandits kill one, abduct dozen in Niger communities. 7 years after abduction. Group asks Tinubu to free Leah Sharibu. Yahya pays indigent students WAEC other fees to boost education. Standard Organization of Nigeria vows to rid markets of substandard products. Benue CJ opposition mounts against sacking as Senate orders probe. Obi's ally dumps Labour Party, joins APC to pursue governorship ambition. Reps demand clampdown on motorists with fake number plates. Senators urge calm as Akpabio, Kogi lawmaker clash at Senate. Castina governor reaffirms commitment to building public service confidence. HOS urges auditors to embrace digital innovation. And that's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. From the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to Leadership newspaper. Sokoto inaugurates technical committee for governor's 9-point agenda. Ex-president Babangida admits MKO Abiola won June 12 presidential election. Stop media attacks on Senator Usman. Group tells Governor Sani Akpabio orders Natasha out of Senate chamber after Kogi senator protests change of seat. Head of service commends federal government for enhancing sustainable environmental health. Governor Ododo mourns Ozi Salami Nasarawa to address infrastructure deficit through PPP. Reps summon NMPC 18 operating limited over rivers environmental pollution. Governor Ododo, we've taken this. TPI urges Turaki to prioritize youth engagement at NWDC. How Tinubu saved Nigeria from total collapse, NOA. DG. Stakeholders demand action on 35% affirmative ruling. Ribadu's fury over Canada visa refusal. 2025 Hajj. NACON reaffirms commitment of to pilgrims' welfare. 2025 Hajj. NACON reaffirms commitment to pilgrims' welfare. Leadership seek collaboration with Interior Ministry on public engagement. Lamido clears misinformation over sack of traditional title holders. And that's the much we can take from the Leadership newspaper this morning. That will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of newspaper headlines on EBEONADI103.5FM. We now flip over to our SMS portal for your reaction. Now, on our SMS portal, we have this message is coming from Mayor Onyin Jikoka, and he says to declare Abiola ex-president is null and void because he has not been sworn in and taken oath of allegiance. Yoruba people should take, okay, no, you don't have to like place it on Yoruba people, because you see that even P2B is also talking about a possibility or, so you should not, place it on a particular people. Now, we also have a message. This one is coming from, okay. This message is coming from Comrade Manli Oduago from Odumoposi, and he says, my country people, 32 years after, it is surprising. Former military head of state, retired General Ibrahim Babangida alias Maradona, has finally risen from the dark and desolate valley of isolation to tell Nigerians that Alhaji Moshood Abiola won the presidential election of 1993. Wow, the smart Maradona does not want to make a butchery of his conscience so late. And he says, a restitution. Let us hope one day he will openly tell the world other hidden atrocities committed before he was diplomatically eased out under the guise of stepping aside. Our God is great. Comrade Manly Oduago from Odumobo, so thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, on our SMS portal, we have this message. This one is coming from Akidi Amoke, Onyanabana Umunachi, and he says, IBB now telling us about June 12th, after 32 years, is a medicine after death, and Val Ozubo moving to APC is his choice. Thanks. Okay, from Akidi Amoke, Onyanabana Umunachi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We also have this message. This one is coming from Honorable Onyelika Osakwe, and he says, all these powermonger and desperate politicians are trooping and defecting to APC. What is their agenda? As I know that APC has shown that they are incompetent. Okay, he says they are shown that they are incompetent, and he says how Babangida regrets is only but act of mere impunity, as they are the part of the problem we are encountering. Ring now, he will consult enroll Nigeria into OIC. They shared our money and failed to provide succor to the nation. He is part of our suffering. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Honorable Onyedeka Osakwe, as this is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning once it's 7 o'clock, so keep a date. And don't touch the dial of Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Once it's 8 o'clock this morning, we'll be back with Big Splash. But before then comes sports. So stick with us. Till we meet again, I am Martin Epanjuku Ekeze. Have a blessed day. Okay, guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. I see the subscribe button right here. Check this out. It's on Amazon.com. Hip Hop and Igbo Culture by yours faithfully, Martin Epanjuku Ekeze. Rock, dialogue.
What are you celebrating today? Birthdays, wedding anniversary, tradition.